وأن هذا صراطي مستقيما فاتبعوه ولا تتبعوا السبل فتفرق بكم عن سبيله ذلكم وصاكم به لعلكم تتقون.
And he commandeth you, saying, This is my straight path, so follow it. Follow not other ways, lest ye be parted from his way. This hath he ordained for you, that ye may ward off evil.
واعتصموا بحبل الله جميعا ولا تفرقوا واذكروا نعمة الله عليكم إذ كنتم أعداء فألف بين قلوبكم فأصبحتم بنعمته إخوانا وكنتم على شفا حفرة من النار فأنقذكم منها كذلك يبين الله لكم آياته لعلكم تهتدون.
Make it and hold fast all of you together to the cable of Allah, and do not separate. And remember Allah's favor unto you, how ye were enemies and He made friendship between your hearts, so that ye became as brothers by His grace. And how ye were upon the brink of an abyss of fire, and He did save you from it. Thus Allah maketh clear His revelations unto you, that haply ye may be guided.
ونعوذ بالله من شرور أنفسنا ومن سيئات أعمالنا من يهده الله فلا مضل له ومن يضلله فلا هادي له وأشهد أن لا إله إلا الله وحده لا شريك له وأشهد أن محمدا عبده ورسوله أما بعد فإن خير الكلام كلام الله وخير الهدى هدى محمد صلى الله عليه وسلم وشر الأمور محدثاتها وكل محدثة بدعة وكل بدعة ضلالة وكل ضلالة في النار. يا أيها الذين آمنوا اتقوا الله حق تقاته ولا تموتن إلا وأنتم مسلمون. يا أيها الناس اتقوا ربكم الذي خلقكم من نفس واحدة وخلق منها زوجها وبث منهما رجالا كثيرا ونساء واتقوا الله الذي تساءلون به والأرحام إن الله كان عليكم رقيبا. يا أيها الذين آمنوا اتقوا الله وقولوا قولا سديدا يصلح لكم أعمالكم ويغفر لكم ذنوبكم ومن يطع الله ورسوله فقد فاز فوزا عظيما. Brothers and sisters, pray to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala that may Allah give us sincerity to speak the truth in the light of the Quran and the Sunnah of Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, to understand them, to accept them in the hearts, and to implement them in our life. Ameen thumma ameen. The topic is, what is Sirat Al-Mustaqeem? What is Sirat Al-Mustaqeem? And Sirat is a path, and Mustaqeem is the straight path. Mustaqeem. And Quran has spoken differently. The word Sirat has been repeated many times in the Quran. The word Sirat with Mustaqeem is repeated many times. And the main subject of Sirat Al-Mustaqeem is referring to Islam. But I got you there. Beta, go and sit with your father, beta. So, Sirat Al-Mustaqeem is actually referring to the straight path, and that is Islam. So today, inshallah, based on that, I will speak about this Sirat, what Sirat is. Number one, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has spoken about Sirat Al-Mustaqeem in Surah Al-Fatiha. In Surah Al-Fatiha, the first surah of the Quran, where Allah says that you have to praise me and then you have to ask me. And when you ask me, you have to ask for the best thing. And And the best is that we should ask first for the religion. That Allah keep us on the religion, Allah keep us on Islam. Give us life as a Muslim and give us death as a Muslim. And that is what it is mentioned even in Surah Al-Anaam chapter 3, where Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has this ayah which is repeated by Rasulullah in every speech of his. Ya ayyuhalladhina amanu taqullaha haqqa tuqatihi wa la tamutunna illa wa antum muslimun. O believers, fear Allah as He should be feared, and you die not but as Muslims. So, living as Muslim and dying as Muslim, this is the first dua that a people should ask, and that is mentioned in Surah Al-Fatiha. Also, if we read the different verses of the Quran, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is also telling us that just becoming Muslim and living the way we like it, that's not actually the etiquette of a believer. A Muslim who is a Muslim and he lives till his last breath as a Muslim. And how do we know this? Because Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has mentioned the dua of Ibrahim alayhi salam. Ibrahim alayhi salam, when he was constructing the Kaaba with his son Ismail, he made that dua. And we know that Allah's Kaaba is Allah's house. Like all the masajid, Kaaba is the best one. Best masjid of Allah, the house of Allah. And the construction will only be done by those who are believers. So we can't expect any non-Muslim would come and construct the Kaaba. So Ibrahim alayhi salam, وَإِذْ يَرْفَعُ إِبْرَاهِيمُ الْقَوَاعِدَ مِنَ الْبَيْتِ وَإِسْمَاعِيلُ رَبَّنَا تَقَبَّلْ دُعَاء رَبَّنَا تَقَبَّلْ مِنَّا إِنَّكَ أَنْتَ السَّمِيعُ الْعَلِيمُ. In this ayah, Allah says that remember the dua of Ibrahim alayhi salam when he and his son Ismail, both of them were constructing the Kaaba. They were raising the foundation of the Kaaba. And at that time, they made this dua. Ibrahim alayhi salam made the dua for himself, for his children, and for his generation that is going to come. And that dua confirms that they were Muslims and they wanted Allah to give them life till their last breath as Muslims. And this is where the dua comes. رَبَّنَا وَاجْعَلْنَا مُسْلِمَيْنِ لَكَ وَمِنْ ذُرِّيَّتِنَا أُمَّةً مُسْلِمَةً لَكَ وَأَرِنَا مَنَاسِكَنَا وَتُبْ عَلَيْنَا إِنَّكَ أَنْتَ التَّوَّابُ الرَّحِيمُ. In this ayah, Ibrahim alayhi being a Muslim and making a dua to Allah, Allah make me and my son as Muslims. But here the word does not mean that they were not Muslims and they are asking Allah to make them Muslim. No, they were Muslims, they were asking Allah to keep them alive with Iman, with Islam. Otherwise there is no point. And He says that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala make our generation, Dhurriya, also Muslims. وَوَصَّى بِهَا إِبْرَاهِيمُ بَنِيهِ وَيَعْقُوبُ يَا بَنِيَّ إِنَّ اللَّهَ اصْطَفَى لَكُمُ الدِّينَ فَلَا تَمُوتُنَّ إِلَّا وَأَنْتُمْ مُسْلِمُونَ. And Ibrahim alayhi so much serious about this Sirat Al-Mustaqeem, the deen of Allah, that even at the time when he was in his last stage of his life, he asked his children to come together and he told them that Allah has chosen the best religion for you. And you should worship only Allah's religion and you should not die but as Muslims. So this is Sirat Al-Mustaqeem, that people, they live by Islam and they die by Islam, and that is the ayah which I quoted from Surah Al-Anaam. وَلَا تَمُوتُنَّ إِلَّا وَأَنْتُمْ مُسْلِمُونَ. Don't die, do not die but as Muslims. And we know, subhanallah, very simple hadith of Rasulullah. مَنْ كَانَ آخِرُ كَلَامِهِ لَا إِلَهَ إِلَّا اللَّهُ خَالِصَةً مِنْ قَلْبِهِ Sunan Darmi. These are the additional words in Sunan Darmi, where Rasulullah said, مَنْ كَانَ آخِرُ كَلَامِهِ لَا إِلَهَ إِلَّا اللَّهُ خَالِصَةً مِنْ قَلْبِهِ دَخَلَ الْجَنَّةِ. When a person at his last stage, before his death, if he utters La ilaha illallah sincerely from his heart, he will go to Jannah. Which shows that even the last breath should be what? Last utterance of our life should be kalima. Yes or no? Islam, Shahada. And how many of us really end up our life like that? How many of us? We are driving a car, just a blink of, the text message, finished, gone. One of my beautiful friends, his son, a week ago he died. So, and the accident, my son told me, because they are all of the same age, that this boy, at night he was just overtaking a car at night, and the other car was on the other side, coming with the speed, and they both hit each other, and few of them, the boy was among them, and he died on the spot. So life, you don't know when we will end our life. So Sirat Al-Mustaqeem here is all Islam. Surah Al-Fatiha is dua. And that dua is what? That we are communicating with Allah and we are asking the best thing from Allah. And the best thing is Islam. Islam should be the best when you are looking for a daughter for your son. Don't look for dunyavi status. Don't look for beautiful status. Don't look for communicable status, financial status. Give priority to deen. She will respect your son. She will respect you and your wife. She will upbring your grandchildren properly. Islam should be the priority in our ibadah, in our risk, in our life, in our marriages for sons and daughters, in our own marriages as well when you are looking for a husband or a wife. Islam should be the priority because by Islam you can live and by Islam you can die. Otherwise Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has said, إِنَّ الَّذِينَ كَفَرُوا وَمَاتُوا وَهُمْ كُفَّارٌ أُولَٰئِكَ عَلَيْهِمْ لَعْنَةُ اللَّهِ وَالْمَلَائِكَةِ وَالنَّاسِ أَجْمَعِينَ خَالِدِينَ فِيهَا لَا يُخَفَّفُ عَنْهُمُ الْعَذَابُ وَلَا هُمْ يُنصَرُونَ. Allah. That those people who are disbelievers and they live with disbelief and they die with disbelief, they will be thrown into the hellfire forever. And they will be abiding in it forever and nobody will be there to look after them. Subhanallah. So as a Muslim we should not give, any chance that we are dying at a moment and we are not dying as a Muslim. وَلَا تَمُوتُنَّ إِلَّا وَأَنْتُمْ مُسْلِمُونَ. Don't die but as Muslim. Sirat Al-Mustaqeem is this. And this is the first command of Allah to the believers that when you ask Allah, ask first, ihdinas Sirat Al-Mustaqeem. Ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala about the Sirat Al-Mustaqeem. You may be asking about your car. You may be asking about your health. You may be asking about your job. You may be asking about this life and that life, this social problem or that one. But if you don't ask about deen, deen will not come to you. Allah will not give you the deen unless you ask for it because it is Allah's deen. This is Allah's Sirat Al-Mustaqeem, and that is the end of the last khutbah where Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has said, وَأَنَّ هَذَا صِرَاطِي مُسْتَقِيمًا فَاتَّبِعُوهُ. O Muhammad ﷺ, tell the people that my last commandment out of the 10, the last commandment is that this is my straight path, my path which is straight, and you have to follow it. وَلَا تَتَّبِعُوا السُّبُلَ, and you should not follow other paths. So this is Sirat Al-Mustaqeem. Sirat Al-Mustaqeem refers to the deen, Islam. And this should be our first priority in all our aspects of our life. We should live by Islam, we should die by Islam. If we are not living by Islam and we are not dying by Islam, then we will end up with misery and disaster and calamities. And that the misery, disaster, calamity after the death will never end. So that will be a permanent thing. In this life you can have calamities and then you can have ease. But after the death, if you live that way, then it is not easy and the problem will be forever. Now coming back to this point, because Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is saying two things. Follow my straight path and do not follow other path. And this is where it goes back to all the major religions with Islam and also the sects and divisions and groups in the religion within the religion itself. This ayah is of that part. And it starts with the title. It starts with the name. And that name is what? In Surah Al-Hajj, chapter 22, last verse, where Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is saying, Huwa sammakumul muslimina min qablu wa fi hadha. In all the previous religious scripts and the Quran, Allah named you, Allah titled you, Allah identified you as Muslims. And this is very clear. And this is where I don't agree with any group today when they say we are Al-Hadith, when they say we are Salafis, when they say we are Hanafis, when they say they are Malikis, when they say they are Hanbalis or Shafi'i or this and that. I don't agree with them. Because when you name yourself at this one particular title, that means you are proving yourself that you are different than another person. And I don't believe that we Muslims should have that kind of concept ever. Because that will at least, keep us like a two parties. And then we will be, if we are very smart, we will try to think, okay, I'm Hanafi, Hanafis are better than other three brothers. If I'm Maliki, I'm better than other three people. I'm Shafi'i, I'm better. And this is what the concept is. And where it comes from, people will say, no, I'm Hanafi, I'm okay with Shafi'i. I don't mind. No, you mind. When the Shafi'i or Maliki or Hanafi, Hanbali sit together and when they raise their issues, which you don't agree, then you say, no, Hanafi according to Anaam is not like this. Oh, no, according to Shafi'i is not like this. Oh, I am following, the culture and the deen of our ancestors, and you are Wahhabi, you are Ahladis, you are Salafi, you are Sufi, you are Barelvi. If you are saying you are okay with others, then why you title them? But look, Richard, ask Richard. Richard is here, and you ask him. He will not tell you, okay, Abdul Majid, you are an Hadith Muslim. He will categorize me only as Muslim. Richard will know me as Muslim. And this is the, unfortunate thing for Muslims, that the non-Muslims call us Muslims, but our brothers will not call us Muslims. This is a big curse in our life. Subhanallah. The non-Muslims will kill us, no problem, in the name of Islam. He is Muslim, kill him. Terrorist, finish him off. Bomb blast, Muslim. Terrorist attack, Muslim. That incident took place, Muslim. And they won't say Shia Muslim, Sunni Muslim, Wahhabi Muslim, this Muslim, that. They will say Muslim. But we don't. 23 masjid in Luton, they all are different from each other. Difference in the deen. I'm not talking about the dunya. Outside they're okay, bye-bye. Hugging and everything is okay. They are different in the masjid. 23 masjid in Luton. I don't know, maybe Uncle Bashir last time said 26. So Alhamdulillah is still increasing. Doesn't matter, you can have thousands of masjid. But our shi'ar should be what? La ilaha illallah Muhammadur Rasulullah. Islam, Quran, and Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. This is called Sirat Al-Mustaqeem. And very simple working out. You don't have to be PhD holder. You don't have to be Imam or Mufti or to be graduate from Azhar University or Medina University. Very simple. When Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam promoted Islam to the people, to the Jews, to the Christians, and to other people, how many Islam did he promote to them? Answer my question. As an Imam, I can ask the audience. How many Islam did he promote? One. When he died, when Abu Bakr became the Khalifa, how many Islam did he promote to the people? One. Umar, Uthman, Ali, and then Hassan and Hussein and other Sahaba and our Umara. First century, nobody ever knew anything about the sects and divisions. They were all living by Islam and dying by Islam. And even the non-Muslims were against us only in the name of Islam. But let me tell you, my brothers and sisters, after that, the dark stage of Islam came in our life. Dark stage of Islam. and that remained for 900 years. Not one day, one month, 1 year, 1 century, no. 900 years Muslims were in the dark stage, where Hanafi were not greeting salam to the Shafi'i. They were not even marrying with each other. Maliki and Hanbali, they used to fight with each other. In the nikah, if a boy is saying that the father-in-law will say, the wali of the girl will say, what's your madhab? And if he says, my madhab is this, which is not the madhab of the wali, you can't marry. Zakat were not shared between Muslims with different sects. 900 years, not 1 year, 2 years. I have a book on that. I have done a history research on that, and I have authored the book, where I have gone through the depth of this. And for the Arabs, you can go back to Abu Bakr al-Sajistani's book, which is Al-Milal wal-Nihal. If you read that book, this book is on the history and the dark stage of the Muslims. In that Al-Milal wal-Nihal, Imam Abu Bakr al-Sajistani has explained, subhanAllah, the dark stage of Muslims, where Muslims were killing each other. Muslims are fighting with each other. They were declaring their disbelief, fatwa, on the person who is not from their sect. SubhanAllah. And this is because we forgot this one ayah of the Quran. وَأَنَّ هَذَا صِرَاطِي مُسْتَقِيمًا فَاتَّبِعُوهُ وَلَا تَتَّبِعُوا السُّبُلَ. So this one, Allah has made it very clear, my brothers and sisters. My message today is to tell you that our religion is Islam, and Allah, what great thing you need. Allah named you as Muslims. Allah gave you this name. If you are saying, somebody asks you, what's your name? My name is Abdul Majid. Why are you so arrogant about your name? Oh, my mom gave me this name. My father gave me this name. I'm well known in my family by this name. So I'm proud of that name. And shouldn't we be proud of our name when Allah gave us the name? Then why we are not happy with that one name? Surah Al-Hajj, chapter 22, verse 78, the last surah, the last verse of Surah Al-Hajj. هُوَ سَمَّاكُمُ الْمُسْلِمِينَ مِنْ قَبْلُ وَبِهَذَا. He has named you Muslim in the previous scriptures, and hada means Quran. In the Quran, He named you Muslim. So your identity is not Hanafi, Maliki, Shafi'i, Hanbali, or Zahiri, or Salafi, or Hadith, or this or that. No. Please take away that name. We all are one. And the differences should be respected as an opinion. That's all. When you have a business partner and you don't agree with him, at that time you don't break the partnership. You say, okay, yeah, that's your opinion. Let's work out something. If this works, otherwise we go for the another opinion. Why don't we do that in our religion? Why we have to say, no, I'm ahle this, I'm upon haq, and all are batil? Why? We should not do that. When I left Islamic Center, the sisters used to send me the text message. Sheikh Sahab, should we pray in this masjid or not, because you left now? I said, you were not praying for me, my beta. You were not praying for me in Islamic Center, you were praying for Allah. And Islamic Center is, this center is the Muslim Center, Islamic Center. You can pray behind anybody who says, La ilaha illallah Muhammadur Rasulullah. What about Abdul Majid? Tilka ummatun qad khalat laha ma kasabat wa lakum ma kasabtum. Who is Abdul Majid? Abdul Majid is one of those. They came, and Allah said about Prophet Muhammad, وَمَا مُحَمَّدٌ إِلَّا رَسُولٌ قَدْ خَلَتْ مِنْ قَبْلِهِ الرُّسُلُ أَفَإِنْ مَاتَ أَوْ قُتِلَ انقَلَبْتُمْ عَلَىٰ أَعْقَابِكُمْ. Who is Muhammad? Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam. Muhammad is not the authority for the deen, that you think if he dies or he is killed, then you go back to the Jahiliyyah or Kufr. No, Muhammad is one of the messengers of Allah. He brought the deen to you. So who is Abdul Majid? Who is this Imam? Who is that Imam? Our religion is Islam, and that religion is Allah's religion. And there is no way we can divide ourselves into that. And this is what Ibrahim said to his son. وَلَا تَمُوتُنَّ إِلَّا وَأَنْتُمْ مُسْلِمُونَ. Do not die but as Muslim. وَوَصَّى بِهَا إِبْرَاهِيمُ بَنِيهِ وَيَعْقُوبُ يَا بَنِيَّ إِنَّ اللَّهَ اصْطَفَى لَكُمُ الدِّينَ فَلَا تَمُوتُنَّ إِلَّا وَأَنْتُمْ مُسْلِمُونَ. Oh my dear children, Allah has chosen the best religion for you, and that religion is Allah's religion. Do not worship anybody else except Allah, and die not but as Muslims. How many of us understand this? Subhanallah. Today, we only remember Islam when it comes to the warasat, inheritance fighting, property disputes. Then we say, okay, what Islam says about this property, my wife is there, my child is there. This is one issue. Second issue, when your wife or your husband is running away from the house, when you have disputes. Then you go for Quran and Islam. Rest of the things, subhanAllah, who bothers? We pray 5 daily prayers. Did we ever, honestly and sincerely, went back to the Quran and the hadith of Rasulullah to check the prayer that I'm praying and offering for Allah? Is it the same as the prayer that offered by Rasulullah? Is it the same that the ghusl that I do every morning, every evening when I go to the gym and come out of the gym, I take ghusl? Is it the ghusl Rasulullah used to do that? The food that I'm eating, did Islam give me any guidance how to earn that halal food? How to spend that halal money? Where to spend that halal money? Did Islam give me any idea to choose a wife for me, or a husband for me, or a daughter-in-law for me, or a son-in-law for me? When do we think of this thing? Never. Never. We only think of our mobile. Even in the toilet, we take our mobile and we get click, we check it, even while we are sitting in the toilet. This is what we do today. So our Sirat Al-Mustaqeem is our devices. Yes, true. Alhamdulillah. I'm not exaggerating. I'm telling you the truth. Alhamdulillah, I know you people are not paying me salary for the khutbah, so if you don't mind, if you get angry, Uncle Bashir, I have to say this. If they get angry, it doesn't matter much. 25, 26 questions are there. But the truth is truth, my brothers and sisters. Sorry to say that instead of saying La ilaha illallah Muhammadur Rasulullah, we say La ilaha illallah. Dash. Aqulu qawli hadha wa astaghfirullah. Alhamdulillah, nahmadu wa salli ala rasulil kareem, amma ba'd. So my brothers and sisters, the ayah of Surah Al-Anaam, the last commandment of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, which is chapter 6, verse 153, it says, وَأَنَّ هَذَا صِرَاطِ مُسْتَقِيمًا وَلَا فَاتَّبِعُوهُ وَلَا تَتَّبِعُوا السُّبُلَ فَتَفَرَّقَ بِكُمْ عَنْ سَبِيلِهِ. That, oh you believers, Muslims, this is my straight path, and follow it and do not follow the other paths that will divide you into groups and divisions. Now let's come back to this, that what is the history of this Islam today? Some people, I have seen some of the videos on YouTube, some people are saying, the Islam that Maulvis are teaching today, that is not the Islam that should be followed, because Islam is something different in the Quran, different in Islam, and different of the Islam is something different. Great. And in that, they say, do not mention the verses of the Quran where it speaks about the war, because then you are turning away those people who do not like Islam. Like the best subject of my brother Richard with me is about jihad from the Quran. He always says that, why God is saying this? If Quran is saying this, this is not something God should say. So this is not. So for me, according to this, today's Muslims, for me I should not read these verses to Richard, and I should say to brother Richard, look Richard, I love you, you're my friend, I don't want to break your friendship, so from today we will not discuss on this verse, ever. Never. Quran speaks about war, Mahabharata speaks about war, Vedas speaks about war, Bible speaks about war, Old Testament speaks about war, and New Testament speaks about war. Hindu, I'm from India, I know the Mahabharata, I know Vedas. They speak about war, wars between brothers and sisters, wars between families, and millions of people died in those wars. and these are from their books. Why should I feel shy and shame to mention this book? This story is in my book. My book is not saying chalk everywhere. These modern people, they say, no, today's Islam is different. You can have sex marriage with the same gender. They allow you. They say gay marriage is allowed. No, gay marriage is not allowed in any religion. If you talk about religion, then gay marriage is not allowed in Hinduism. Gay marriage is not allowed in Christianity. And he is a scholar of the Bible here, asking if the gay marriage is allowed. Gay marriage is not allowed. But these people are saying no. You can use your wives, these are on videos, the way you like it. There is no haram and halal. There is no divorce, 3 divorces in Quran in Islam. These are the modern Muslims. These are the modern Muslims who say Jesus, Isa is not coming, Santa Claus will be coming. You are saying about Jesus coming is to please the Christians, because Christians are waiting for Jesus to come. So you are pleasing them. These are the people. Now let's understand, is that the Islam that we are talking today? No. In Surah Ma'idah, chapter 5, verse 3, Allah says, Al-Yawma akmaltu lakum dinakum. That ayah, this particular ayah, it was revealed when Rasul was performing his Hajj. And how many Hajj did Prophet perform? 5. 4. What did I say? Sorry. It's 1, alhamdulillah. Just to, share up with you so that you should understand. It's only 1 Hajj. And after that, he didn't live after that. After a year, he died. He was in the ground of Arafah, Maidanul Arafah. And this verse was revealed there. And this verse, when Umar ibn Khattab, when he became Khalifa, one of the Jewish scholars, he came to Umar. And he said to Umar, in your Quran, there is a verse. If that verse would have given to us in our Old Testament, in our Torah, we would have considered the day that verse would have revealed to us, would have considered that day as Eid for us. A day for festival. He said, come on man, is there any ayah which you know better than me? And it is in my book? He said, yes. And he said, I know. Which verse is that? Which surah is that? And when it was revealed? And what was the occasion it was revealed? Umar said, okay man, come on, give me, let me see. And he said, it was Yawm al-Arafah. And your Prophet was performing his wukuf in Arafah. And this was the day, Friday, it was Yawm al-Jum'ah. And it was the Hajj of your Prophet. And this ayah was revealed, chapter 5, verse 3, Al-Yawma akmaltu lakum dinakum wa atmamtu alaykum ni'mati wa raditu lakum al-Islam dina. That I have completed the religion for you. Religion is complete. One religion. No religion, Islam with this, Islam with that, with this sect and this division, this Jamaat and this madhab. No. That one religion of Allah was completed on that day. Nothing more has to be revealed in it, or nothing has to be taken out. Finished. Then, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has said that this is the religion that I am pleased with you. Then in Surah Al-Anaam, Allah says, وَمَنْ يَبْتَغِي غَيْرَ الْإِسْلَامِ دِينًا فَلَنْ يُقْبَلَ مِنْهُ وَهُوَ فِي الْآخِرَةِ مِنَ الْخَاسِرِينَ. Anybody who is trying to bring any other methods beside Allah's deen, then that will not be accepted. So my brothers and sisters, this is a serious warning from Allah that if we are practicing something in the name of Islam, and if it is not from Quran and Sunnah, then remember, you can say that you are doing something good, but it will not be accepted by Allah. فَلَنْ يُقْبَلَ مِنْهُ. It will not be accepted from him. وَهُوَ فِي الْآخِرَةِ مِنَ الْخَاسِرِينَ. And on the day of judgment, he will be amongst the losers. Finally, my brothers and sisters, I read to you the verses from Surah An-Nisa. And these verses are 163, 64, 65, 66, 67. And I said that this ayah confirms that Islam was the religion of Adam. Islam was the religion of Noah. Islam was the religion of Ibrahim. Islam was the religion of Isa, Musa, Yahya, Zakaria. Islam was the religion of Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. And Islam is the religion of true, sincere Muslims of today and till the last day of judgment. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is saying the day of judgment will not come until the last person who says La ilaha illallah Muhammad Rasulullah is gone from this dunya, then any time the Qiyamah will come. So remember that. This is in Surah Al-Nisa. Then I also quoted from Surah Al-Shura. Surah Al-Shura, verses 13, where Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is saying that this is the deen, the doctrine, halal and haram. Islam is prescribed by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala from the day He created the earth and the heaven. So Islam has come from there. Then Rasul sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, when he was in the last stage of his life, he said that I am leaving behind you two things. I am leaving behind you two things. And if you hold into those two things, you will never go astray. And then he said, Kitabullah wa sunnati, Allah's book and my sunnah, my method of life. And then this ayah says, وَاعْتَصِمُوا بِحَبْلِ اللَّهِ جَمِيعًا وَلَا تَفَرَّقُوا. And hold Allah's rope and do not get divided into groups. And then Allah reminds the history of the people when they were divided into groups. And hadith says in Sahih Bukhari, the Jews, they were divided into 71 sects in the past. One was upon haq and 70 were upon wrong. So this is the curse of the divisions, that when you dispute and when you are divided by, into your religion, then this is what it happens. Then he says that the Christians came after that, they divided into the major groups, divided into 72 sects. 71 were wrong, one was upon haq. And Prophet said, Ye ummah bhi to piche thodi rahegi. This ummah will never remain behind. They want to compete them. 71 is not sufficient. 72 is not sufficient. I should go 73. So this ummah is divided into 73 sects. MashaAllah, Mabruk. Congratulations to my brothers and sisters. One will go to Jannah and rest is, Allah knows where they will go. I don't wish any bad for anybody. Then, finally my brothers and sisters, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is saying, وَاذْكُرُوا نِعْمَةَ اللَّهِ عَلَيْكُمْ إِذْ كُنْتُمْ عَدَاءً فَأَلَّفَ بَيْنَ قُلُوبِكُمْ فَأَصْبَحْتُمْ بِنِعْمَتِهِ إِخْوَانًا وَكُنْتُمْ عَلَى شَفَاعِ حُفْرَةٍ مِّنَ النَّارِ فَأَنْقَذَكُم مِّنْهَا. Before Islam, people were standing at the mouth of the hellfire because of the divisions. And you know, my brothers and sisters, the tribes in Makkah and Medina, they were fighting with each other for centuries in the name of Zat, Khandan, fraud, Asi Chaudhry, Asi Rathod, Asi Raja, Asi this, Asi that. Because of that, they were fighting for centuries and centuries. India was one powerful country with Muslims. Then Muslims made Pakistan in the name of La ilaha illallah. Our Prime Minister Rasulullah. All those were Prime Ministers since 47. We voted them to come. So La ilaha illallah in Pakistan, it was the kalima. My father was there. My father heard people dying. The non-Muslims were killing, chopping their heads. Just because this old lady is saying La ilaha illallah Muhammad Rasulullah, she is saying Pakistan. These are the combination of two words. Pak means pure, Stan means Hindi word, Jagin. And she is saying we are going from one land to a pure land. And then her head is dropped. And now that land, subhanAllah, yesterday I saw a video, a sheikh was making dua in Taraweeh, and the whole dua was on Pakistan. May Allah bring peace in Pakistan. Allah bring people to Islam in Pakistan. La ilaha illallah, our Prime Minister Rasulullah. That's the kalima of today. SubhanAllah. So, Allah is saying you were at the mouth of the hellfire when you divided into groups and you were killing each other. Now the question is, which sect should we follow today? Even Arabs are saying the same thing. That if we have to follow the Imams, Aimmas, we have to follow their understanding. So madahib is not something which is wrong. Is that the correct answer? Inshallah, The topic will be continued next Jummah, inshallah. What do I mean by saying that? Is that today we have Al-Hadith, Salafis, Deobandis, Barelvis, Hanafi, Shafi, Maliki. And are these names are really legitimate names? Should we label ourselves with that? If not, what is the solution? And what will be the result to that? Inshallah, we will discuss this topic, inshallah, in detail next week. So please try to understand today. Today's message is that our religion is one, and that is Islam. And the rest of the things are all, divisions that will lead to other path, and it will not bring us to the truth. And the religion that we are following in the name of Islam was a universal religion. Human race were following Islam, and they were following the message of Allah and the messenger of them at that time. And they were named as Muslims. So there is no other name in our religion. And I am grateful to the non-Muslims when they address all of us as Muslims instead of Hanafi Muslim and Shafi Muslim. Inna Allah wa malaikatu yusalluna ala nabi. Ya ayyuha alladhina amanu sallu alayhi wa sallimu taslima. Allahumma salli ala Muhammad wa ala ali Muhammad